Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to another special edition of the Mayor's Corner. I am coming to you live from Plum Island today. I'm going to tell you why in a minute, but what a beautiful day to be out here after a couple of days of much needed rain. But even though we needed that rain a lot, it's still nice to have a nice day out and about here in Newburyport. And what just a beautiful scene down here on Plum Island. So what's going on in Newburyport? So first I want to tell everyone I had a wonderful trip in Ohio over the weekend. I was able to take my brother, my father, and my 10-year-old son Oliver to an Ohio State game. It was my son's first Ohio State game, and they were playing Notre Dame. So it was just a huge national game. So OSU was the second-ranked team in the country. Notre Dame was the fifth. And actually it was a really good game for the first game of the season. It was a very competitive first half, and my team snuck it out in the second half to win 21-10. But you know, my son Oliver just had a smile on his face the whole time. So it was a wonderful trip. It was a lot of driving, 12 hours out, 12 hours back. We were home Sunday night, and we had Labor Day to recover. So I hope everyone had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I think there was a little bit of a taste of end of summer here, and then again the rains moved in that we really need. So again, I hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend. And back to school today, and actually yesterday was the first day of school for our kindergarten and our pre-K students here in Newburyport. So again, welcome back to school for those kids as well. So I said this is the Plum Island edition, so let's talk about Plum Island a little bit. First, I want to mention the dredge, right? So this dredge project is a big project that we're working with our state and federal partners on. This is for the Reservation Terrace area of Plum Island, so like 73rd to 77th Street area, where all this sand has eroded from the beach. I think most of you out there probably know the story. So we're at a really critical stage there. We've installed some rocks there as a measure to help protect the houses there, especially we're about to go through another winter and winter season where the waves can get pretty rough down there. So we're about to do this dredge project. So it finally got all the approvals, permitting. We're looking at early October for that to start. And I think it's about 250,000 yards of sand, cubic yards of sand that are going to be dumped on the beach there. Okay, now just remember that's only part of the solution, right? So we need to replace the beach there first, and then the second part of that, once we get the sand back on there, which if you remember, we tried to do this last year and we only got one bid, so the whole thing kind of fell through and we had to get pushed an entire year. So now we've got through, we're going to have the sand back on the beach. So that second part is working with our federal partners and state partners, particularly federal, and working with the Army Corps of Engineers to work on that jetty so this doesn't happen again, right? So when they worked on the jetty a number of years ago, I think around 2014-15, since then, the beach has just been disappearing out here. So we need to get back and fix that jetty. So we're going to be working with the Army Corps to finalize a study and have next steps to fix the jetty out there. So stay tuned for that. Another reason why I'm out here in Plum Island, because this Friday and Saturday, the Friends of the NYS is going to do a drive-in down here at the Plum Island Point. We're right down here in the parking lot. So again, this is for the Friends of NYS, so all the money they raise will go towards Newburyport Youth Services. But on Friday night, they're going to watch Pitch Perfect. So if you want to follow the Bard and Bellas in their journey to greatness, you can come down here and watch the Pitch Perfect. The gates open at 6 o'clock, and then the movie starts at 7 on Friday. And then Saturday, the movie is going to be Sing. So same time frame, gates open at 6, movie starts at 7. Sing is a beautiful animated story of a singing, talking koala bringing other animals together to sing. We've watched it a number of times in my house. But two great movies, and so get out there and support Newburyport Youth Services and the Friends of the NYS this weekend. And that's down here on Plum Island. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we get a good couple nights for that. What else is going on around town? So the DPS has been busy as usual, getting through the summer season. We have a couple sidewalk projects that we're doing. These are small ones. These aren't the big sidewalk projects that we're going to get going on this fall. And again, I remember I told you about that. That's kind of connected to my 5-year streets and sidewalks plan. We're going to be targeting some streets that we're going to do next year, but we'd like to do the sidewalks this year. And I'll give you one example. Plummer Ave is a street that we've targeted for next year, but we're going to try to do the sidewalks of that this year. And we're still working with DPS and engineering on redesigning Plummer a little bit to help mitigate some of the traffic issues there as well. So we're going to try to do the sidewalk street, have some traffic calming measures there as well, all at the same time. So we're working on those plans right now. So these other two projects I'm talking about on State Street are happening right now. So pretty much from State and High down to Plant Street. I think I got the street right there. We're going to be working on the left-hand side there. We're going to be working on some really hilly parts of the brick there on State Street, really dangerous. So we're going to be working on that part of the sidewalk here coming up, and then if you cross the light on the other side of State Street, there's another little kind of dangerous patch of State Street that we're working on. So hats off to the DPS for getting these 2 projects done. What's nice about the project that's happening on kind of the downtown part of State Street is that we're going to be able to put 4 new tree pits in there. So I know there's been a lot of talk of trees in town. So DPS will work with the tree commission once we get to that point to put some new trees there, but we should have 4 new trees going up on State Street in the downtown area, which is pretty exciting. To keep it in the DPS realm, so we're still going through our water restrictions, okay? We went to mandatory water restrictions last week, I believe. And so it was great. We got 2 good days of rain. We're going to hold tight in the water restrictions right now. So again, if you have questions on the water restrictions, you can log on to cityofnewburyport.com and go to the DPS page, and they'll have the water restrictions right there. It's actually on the front page of our website too, under the news section. You can click on that. But essentially, we're asking people to only water their lawns or do any kind of outdoor watering between 6 and 9 in the morning and 6 and 9 at night. And there's some other recommendations on there. We're actually also asking if you're an odd number house. So I live on 5. My house number is 5. I would only be able to water on odd number days, and then again, even numbers would be even days. So again, check that out. We're going to hold tight in there, and we're just going to solidify our water supply, and then I'll let you know when we can move on for that. But we're going to keep those in place right now. But it was great to get a couple good days of rain this week. What else is going on? We had a great school committee meeting last night, but it reminded me to tell everyone, October 3rd, which is our first meeting in October, we are going to have a school safety forum. And this was the one thing I was getting a lot of questions about this summer and moving into back to school was, especially parents with kids, they want to know that their kids are safe at school. And that's our number 1 priority, right, as a city and as a school district. So we had this meeting years ago, a meeting like this, a public forum around school safety, and it was very well attended, and it was really one of the best meetings that I've ever been a part of. So we're trying to replicate that, right? So October 3rd, before our regularly scheduled meeting, we're going to have a school safety forum where we'll have a presentation by the district of the measures that we're taking to keep our kids safe in school, and we'll also have members of the police department there to answer questions. And so the hope is, because it is a public forum, that we'll have a presentation and then we'll have a little bit of a question and answer and more of a conversation around school safety. So mark that on your calendar. That's going to be October 3rd, and that's going to happen right before our regularly scheduled meeting. I believe the time is going to still stay the same. So I think the time will be 6:30, and then we'll do the forum, and then whenever we finish, then we'll pick up the regular meeting. So 6:30, October 3rd at the Senior Center. So we're not moving locations. We're going to keep it right at the Senior Center. That's where we had it last time. I think that's a great place, to do this forum. So we're going to do that there. Another thing I'm excited about, I had a great meeting this week with a couple community members, and it was around, well, actually, I'll tell you, it was with Tina Lose of the DEI Alliance, and also Tara McGregor of Newburyport Youth Services. But the meeting was about putting together an LGBTQ advisory board, okay? And I'm kind of excited about this. So this would actually be a kind of a subset of the DEI Alliance. And the DEI Alliance is doing a lot of great work within the city. Juneteenth is just one of the things that they're involved in. We had a great Juneteenth celebration this year. So, thinking about, things that we can do to help support our LGBTQ community here in Newburyport and moving forward, I'd love to put this board together to not only help plan events, but just kind of be a voice to the DEI Alliance about some of the issues that the gay community is having here in Newburyport, either issues, challenges, or opportunities, right? So we're putting this together. So if you're interested, please reach out to the mayor's office. We're going to start looking for people to get on this board. Again, one of the things I'm excited about is, Pride. June is Pride Month here across the country. This group would be able to help with a lot of the planning of that. And so I'm excited about that, and never, apart from the connection to the DEI Alliance, which I think is so important as well. So be on the lookout for that. I think that's going to be a great asset to the community, getting that board together. And finally, I've got one thing I'm doing on this weekend. I'm going to stop by a fundraiser. It's in West Newbury, but this is a Greater Newburyport organization. It's the Greater Newburyport Borough Alliance, and they have a fundraiser from 2 to 5 on Saturday, and it's at 411 Middle Street in West Newbury. And if you want to have tickets for this, I think it's about $55 per person, but they're having kind of like a lobster bake fundraiser. But the Borough Alliance works with our sister city in Kenya. and they raise money to help send orphans to school in Kenya. It's a really wonderful organization. My in-laws actually took a trip to Kenya when my wife was younger. My wife and her sister and her parents went over there and stayed in the sister city, in the village, and were members of this organization. So they do a lot of great work. I got to sit down with them a couple weeks ago. So if you're interested in tickets, it's 617-905-6371. So that's the Greater Newburyport Borough Alliance, and I wish them a lot of luck on their fundraiser this weekend. And that's pretty much my Mayor's Corner this week. Again, it's such a beautiful day here in Plum Island. I'm excited that we have a lot of things going on at Plum Island. I think the dredge project is going to be essential for the Reservation Terrace area. I'm actually working on this little project with the DPS as well, where we're going to more clearly identify the beach access points on the Newburyport side of Plum Island, because I think the Newbury side does that really well. So I'm still working on that, but we're going to have new signage come next beach season that will just help people better identify where they are on the beach. And then, God forbid, if there was ever an emergency, they'd be able to better identify where they are on the beach. And we're going to do that with little signage. And I also have some great Plum Island residents that are working on a life ring program that we're going to have at these locations as well. So a shout out to my friends here on Plum Island that are still doing great things for their community and partnering with the city to do it, which I appreciate as well. And that's our Mayor's Corner. So I hope everyone has a great week. It looks like we've got a couple great days coming up. Enjoy it. Next week, I'm going to give you a preview. We're going to be coming to you from Newburyport High School because it's fall sports season here in Newburyport, and we're going to highlight the great things going on at the high school and talk about the fall sports season. I know anyone out there with kids is probably getting busy for soccer season and flag football, and my kids even playing fall basketball. So there's a lot of that going on and just starting back up with back to school. And finally, just another little thing I want to remind you of is Monday night, the City Council has a meeting, and they're going to be bringing back up the short-term rental units agreement, so STRUs. It's been a huge discussion here in Newburyport for the past 2 years. Last City Council meeting, they had a meeting. They decided to table the discussion and bring it back at this meeting. Take a look at it. It's really important. It's important to remember that we've got to come to a compromise on this, right? And we need 8 votes. So out of the 11 city councilors, we need 8 of them to agree on a compromise for this, I think, important legislation that we need passed here. Because right now there's no regulation on short-term rental units. So there's got to be a way to capture that, and there's got to be a way to move forward to be able to adjust it as fit. But I do think we need a basic registration opportunity for short-term rental units just to make them legal, right? And then we can work on it moving forward. So I'm looking forward to the discussion on Monday night. I hope the City Council can come to a compromise. And again, you got to collaborate, right? That's how difficult things get done. And we definitely need some collaboration and some creative thinking around how do we get something passed on short-term rental units on Monday night. So again, reach out to your counselors, tune in on Monday night. It's going to be an important discussion, and I'm looking forward to it. So again, if you ever have any questions, reach out to my office. My door's always open. My office hours are always at the end of the month, the last Thursday and Friday consecutively. I'll be there to answer questions and hear from you directly. So enjoy the rest of the week and weekend, and I will see you next time at Newburyport High School on the Mayor's Corner.